Hello Internet, and welcome back to my series of film reviews. Last time we covered Ghostbusters, and now I want to take a look at some more live-action Disney remakes just to pass the time. Today, we're taking a look at 2020's Mulan. The only live-action remake we're getting in 2024, to my knowledge, is Mufasa the Lion King, which is a prequel to 2019's The Lion King, which is one of my least favorite movies of all time. And what's worse is that this particular movie is releasing on the exact same day as Sonic the Hedgehog 3, so I will not be reviewing Mufasa the Lion King. We're also scheduled to get a live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch on Disney+. I don't know when, but once we get more information, I will be taking a look at that on this channel. The release for the live-action remake of Mulan was complicated. It was hit with delay after delay because of the pandemic, where movie theaters were shut down, and moviegoing as we know it went to shit. So Disney, like the corporate moneybags they are, decided to release Mulan on Disney+, but there was a catch. They introduced a temporary feature on Disney Plus called Premier Access, where Disney Plus subscribers had to pay $29.99 to watch Mulan on Disney Plus. If you ask me, that's just straight up ridiculous! $30 to watch one movie on Disney Plus? That's highway robbery! But after Mulan, they used the same strategy with 4 other movies: Raya and the Last Dragon, Cruella, Black Widow, and Jungle Cruise. But for those movies, people had the option to see those at the theater, and after the release of Jungle Cruise, people went back to the movie theaters, and the Premier Access feature was declared dead. The only one out of those 4 that I saw at the theater was Black Widow. Well, I watched it on Disney Plus first, then I saw it at the theater for my second viewing. But Mulan was only released on Disney Plus, while it released in theaters overseas. So it was a lose-lose scenario for moviegoers. This movie stars Liu Yifei as Mulan, Jet Li as the Emperor of China, and a bunch of characters who were not in the original 1998 film. There was no Mushu, there was no Shang, and no Lucky Cricket. This movie was void of musical numbers, and humor, and the charm that made the original Mulan not only one of my favorite Disney movies of all time, but one of my favorite movies, period. This was the first live-action Disney remake to be given a PG-13 rating for sequences of violence. The second one being Cruella, which was rated PG-13 for some violence and thematic elements. This was an interesting move on Disney's part to give one of their remakes that kind of rating. But I would expect nothing less from a movie about a girl disguising herself as a man to take her father's place in the Chinese army, to go to war with invaders, that they should expect a high body count. This is one of those Disney remakes that is absolutely nothing like the original animated film that it was based on. Remakes like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and The Little Mermaid at least tried to stay true to their original animated films, with new elements added here and there. But Mulan, no. But I can say that this movie is more based on the original Chinese legend, which I don't know a whole lot about. This movie also had a shit ton of controversy behind the scenes. Not only changes from the original 1998 animated film, but also filming in a location that was clearly a bad idea to begin with, the lack of diversity with the production team, the main actress's comments on what went down in Hong Kong, and the exclusion of Shang. To be honest, I'm more mad about the fact that Mushu didn't even make an appearance in this movie, and was replaced with a phoenix. Mushu was by far the funniest character in the original film, and he was one of my favorite characters, before they turned him into a complete dick in Mulan 2. Let's talk about the differences from the original 1998 film. For starters, there is not a hint of singing in this movie, but during the end credits, Liu Yifei sang Reflection in Mandarin Chinese. However, you can hear bits of the original soundtrack during major scenes from the film. And second, the antagonists of this movie are not Huns, but Rorans. And instead of Shan Yu, his name is Bori Khan, played by Jason Scott Lee, who did the voice of David in Lilo and Stitch. And given that my name is David, I have this to say.
All right, that's it. Dishonor. Dishonor on your whole family. Make a note of this. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
In fact, dishonor on this entire movie. When I first saw this film on Disney Plus back in 2020, which I actually paid the ludicrous $30 Premier Access fee, I enjoyed it. But looking back, it was not one of my favorite remakes we've gotten, and it was far from being the worst one. The worst one, in my book, is 2019's The Lion King. I'm giving 2020's Mulan a 5 out of 10. This movie was nothing like the 1998 animated film, and it's more based on the original Chinese legend rather than the original animated film. However, Ming-Na Wen, who has done a hat trick with Disney when she played Mulan in the original 1998 film, Agent Melinda May in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Fennec Shand in several Disney Plus Star Wars shows, makes a brief cameo at the very end of the movie. I didn't hate this movie per se, but I was very disappointed. Although the fight scenes I have to give kudos to. The fight sequences alone gave this movie a PG-13 rating, which I feel this movie has earned. The main actress did a good job, and I have this to say.
You fight good.
There was absolutely zero singing in this movie, and this movie was dull and lifeless compared to the animated film. not to mention a bunch of historical and cultural inaccuracies. The editing could have used a little more work, and so could the screenplay. The fight sequences are the only redeeming factor that this movie has. But overall, 2020's Mulan is one of the most disappointing remakes I've ever seen from Disney. It's not the worst one I've ever seen, but I was very disappointed with this movie, and I'm not in a hurry to watch it again. At some point, I'll be reviewing some other remakes we've gotten in the past, like 2019's Aladdin and 2019's Dumbo. I might do 2016's The Jungle Book, but I don't know yet. Cruella is a maybe, and so are Maleficent and Maleficent Mistress of Evil. And I still haven't seen 2010's Alice in Wonderland. Sometime soon I may have to sit down and put that on. And if people want me to review Peter Pan and Wendy, I can do that. I initially wasn't going to review that movie on this channel, but if anybody asks me to take a look at it, I will. Stay tuned for more reviews and videos coming soon for the new year. Until then, I'll see you all next time.